Chapter 112. Truly a great resolve. Even though he inherited his parents' assets, to Fang Yuan, the time he had to accumulate wealth was still too little. Activating the vitality leaf, he could not do it daily as it consumed a lot of time. Activating the vitality leaf, he could not do it daily as it consumed a lot of time. Every time he grew out 9 vitality leaves, half a day would be expended. Fang Yuan considered for a moment. The sale time of this red steel relic GU is only 1 day. In such a short time, to come up with these large amount of primeval stones, the only way was to mortgage his wine tavern or the bamboo buildings. This was nothing to feel pity over. A year later, it would be the wolf tide. Under the wolves' attack, Guu village would desperately hold on several times, and during the most severe attack, even the front gate was broken through. The clan leader and the clan elders restrained the lightning crown head wolf, and Guu Qingshu sacrificed his own life to block the gate and stabilize the situation. The wolf tide caused Qingmao Mountain's 3 clans to suffer a great reduction in clan members. Although not as much as 90% was gone, but at least half the population was wiped out. By then, there would be more property than people. What talk would there be about renting out the bamboo building? The wine tavern was facing the eastern gates. Who would dare to drink there? Even if they wanted to drink, the tavern would have gotten used by the clan and turned into a defensive tower. Right now, the clan and many people were underestimating the severity of the wolf tide. At this point, if he could get rid of the tavern and bamboo buildings, he would be able to sell it at the best price. Money and fortune are just material goods, only one's cultivation is the root. But selling it to the clan is too cheap. If I sell it to an individual, the price would be higher. But who would have the financial ability right now to buy my bamboo building and tavern? Such a huge transaction, it is not something that can be settled at one go. Both sides have to observe and haggle for the best prices. That would take too much time. I only have 1 day. Wait, maybe someone can. Fang Yuan's inspiration struck as he thought of someone. This person was none other than his uncle Guu Dongtu. Uncle and aunt were both cunning and miserly. These decades of operating the tavern, bamboo buildings and selling the vitality leaves, they must have a huge stash of primeval stones. Moreover, these assets were originally operated by them. All in all, it can save a lot of observation time. The most important part was, they desperately needed this family asset to continue operating. No matter how much assets they had, without any income, this was like a river without a source. Their primeval stones would get lesser and lesser. Anyone would also be anxious over it. It could be said uncle and aunt were the best transaction targets. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan hesitated no longer, leaving the treehouse and walking towards Guu Dongtu's estate. The one who opened the door was Shen Kui, his former servant. "Ah, it's you." Seeing Fang Yuan, she was very shocked. Soon, she realized her slip of the tongue, and her face turned white from horror. Fang Yuan was now a rank 2 GU master, but she was a mere mortal. The difference between them was like heaven and earth. More importantly, Fang Yuan was the ruthless person who dared to kill the Mo family servant, later mincing the corpse and sending it to the Mo family. This servant pays her respects to young master Fang Yuan. "Welcome home, young master." Shen Kui shivered from her fear and her knees went soft, kneeling on the ground. "Home?" Fang Yuan took a step into the courtyard. Seeing the familiar settings, his face showed a hint of mockery. There was no sense of belonging or attachment. A year later, he had returned here once again. Compared to his mental impression, this place was much more vacant. Just as Fang Zheng had said, some family servants were already sold away or retrenched. Fang Yuan's sudden appearance had alarmed uncle and aunt. As the housekeeper, Mother Shen arrived at the first moment, kneeling and bowing to invite Fang Yuan into the living room, and served him tea by hand. Fang Yuan sat on the chair, observing the living room. Many of the furniture was missing, and the decor was much more simple and plain. But this did not mean that uncle and aunt had no savings. Guu Dongtu is still very cunning. This is an act of self-preservation. He had already stepped into the background, and his battle strength had drastically slipped. Most importantly, he had lost the 9-leaf vitality grass, meaning that he had lost the trump card in maintaining his personal relationships, no longer able to exert influence outside. A man's wealth is his own ruin by causing another's greed. After Fang Yuan inherited the assets, many clansmen were jealous and eyed his fortune. As for uncle and aunt, they faced the same problem. The huge amount of savings they had was both a blessing and a problem. Not showing off one's wealth to them, this was the correct method of living. At this time, footsteps could be heard. The footsteps got closer, and soon, aunt appeared at the doorstep. "Fang Yuan, you actually still dared to come back here." Seeing Fang Yuan, the rage in her heart appeared out of nowhere, screaming shrilly, "You traitorous scoundrel, how did we raise you? And to think you treat us like this, do you have a conscience? Has your conscience been eaten by a dog? You still have the cheeks to come here, and have the cheeks to drink tea here? Are you here to see our sorry states? Now that you've seen it, are you happy?" Exclamation mark. Her finger pointed at Fang Yuan, her other hand at her waist as she screamed like a shrew. If not for Fang Yuan wearing a glaring rank 2 GU master battle attire, reminding her, she would have pounced on him and strangled him. Fang Yuan paid no heed nor showed any expressions to aunt's finger or her angry accusations. A year of not meeting, Aunt's yellow face, although full of rage and hatred, could not hide her haggardness. Her clothes had already changed to a simple hemp garment, and the accessories on her head had reduced. Without any makeup, her mouth looked sharp and her face small, like a monkey. Fang Yuan getting back the assets had caused a great influence and impact on her daily life. To her furious bantering, Fang Yuan paid no heed to them. He held up his cup and drank some tea before saying slowly, "My trip here today is to sell the tavern and bamboo buildings. Does uncle and aunt have any interest?" "Pa, you traitorous wolf, what good can you have, wanting to sell the tavern and bamboo?" Aunt's tone stalled as she finally reacted, her face showing disbelief. "What, you want to sell the tavern and bamboo buildings?" Fang Yuan put down his teacup, leaning back in the chair, closing his eyes to rest. "Better to get uncle here to discuss with me." Aunt gritted her teeth, not believing it, her eyes like erupting flames as she stared angrily at Fang Yuan, saying, "I know, you're trying to toy with me, that's why you said that. Once I agree, I will get harshly mocked and ridiculed. You think I'm a fool, and would be played by you?" This was purely a way of thinking from a person of low social status. Fang Yuan sighed in his heart before saying one sentence to change his aunt's attitude, "Say any more bullshit and I'm leaving. I believe others would be interested in these assets. By then, I would have sold it to other people, so don't you both regret it." Aunt paused for a moment. "Do you really want to sell these assets?" "I am only waiting for 5 minutes." Fang Yuan opened a slit of his eyes to talk before shutting them again. He heard Aunt stomping her foot before a series of quick and softer footsteps. Not long after, Uncle Jiu Yu Dong Tu appeared in front of Fang Yuan, but Aunt did not accompany him. Fang Yuan looked at him. Uncle was already aging extensively, his originally well-maintained face had shrunk, and there was much more white hair on his head now. He had been worrying these few days. Losing the family assets, he lost his financial sources all of a sudden. Without the 9-leaf vitality grass, he also lost his outside influence. His hidden elder title was already falsifying. Although he had a huge amount of fortune in his hands, without his influence, these primeval stones had gotten troublesome. The clan's politics was to encourage the clansmen to compete for resources, especially the rules on GU fighting. It was inhumane and non-friendly. But this could exterminate parasites and the appearance of a good-for-nothing second generation, allowing the clan's people to maintain a sense of alertness. This also allowed the clan's fighting force to maintain at a strong position. In this world, only strong fighting force could ensure survival. Tornadoes, floods and beasts do not speak sense with you. These years, Jiu Yu Dong Tu had lived a life of peace, and his fighting ability had diminished. In order to reduce his burden, the GU worms that he used to fight with, he had sold them away already. If someone sent him a challenge now, he would definitely lose more than win. Towards his uncle, Fang Yuan spoke openly about his purpose in coming. "Fang Yuan, I shall not beat about the bush. I don't understand something. Why do you need to sell the wine tavern and bamboo buildings? If you keep them, you will have a steady source of income." Uncle could not believe it, but his tone was much more acceptable than Aunt's. "Because I want to buy a red steel relic GU. Fang Yuan said honestly, there was no need to hide such things. "So that's it." Uncle's gaze shone. "Then, you are selling the 9-leaf vitality grass too?" "That is impossible." Fang Yuan shook his head without any hesitation. "I am only selling the wine tavern, the bamboo buildings, the land and the 8 servants. 9-leaf vitality grass was the most valuable thing in the asset. Fang Yuan needed its healing ability as well as selling them to earn primeval stones. It could sustain his cultivation and also feed the GU worms. Furthermore, next year the wolf tide was coming, and the vitality leaves price would soar. With this 9-leaf vitality grass in hand, Fang Yuan would have no problems with primeval stones for his rank 2 cultivation journey. But if Uncle obtains the 9-leaf vitality grass, his hidden elder influence would instantly recover. Fang Yuan did not want to see this happen. Seeing Fang Yuan's determined attitude, Jiu Yu Dong Tu's heart was very disappointed. At the same time, he felt helpless. The two had a secret talk for 2 hours, then they signed an extremely secure transfer agreement. Jiu Yu Dong Tu regained the tavern, bamboo buildings, family servants and land, while Fang Yuan led 3 family servants who were holding a box full of primeval stones each, towards the treehouse. They each got what they wanted. Hearing the news, Aunt rushed over. Seeing Jiu Yu Dong Tu's contracts and deeds in his hands, she stared with round eyes and showed overwhelming joy. "Hubby, that lad got stupid from cultivating, he actually sold away such a profitable business. So stupid, wanting the eggs and not keeping the hen that lays eggs. Will you die if you stop talking? Shut up." Jiu Yu Dong Tu sounded very irritated. "Husband," Aunt pouted, "I'm just happy about it. Do not get complacent. With this tavern and the bamboo buildings, we have to be even more cautious now and keep a low profile. A huge tree attracts the wind. Although Fang Zheng is our adopted son, we cannot misuse this relationship. After all, Fang Zheng has not fully developed himself yet, who knows what the future entails?" Jiu Yu Dong Tu sighed deeply. "Got it, husband." Aunt listened while staring at the stack of deeds, laughing uncontrollably. Jiu Yu Dong Tu's face was solemn throughout. The transaction went well, and he now had income. The primeval stones he spent would be replenished with 2 or 3 years of operation. But he was not happy at all. His mind was full of Fang Yuan's silhouette. For a relic Gu, Fang Yuan unhesitantly sold the assets. This was akin to giving up the comfortable life ahead. Gu Yudongtu placed himself in Fang Yuan's shoes and thought, would I be able to do this? I can't. Even if he did not like Fang Yuan, filled with hatred and disgust, at this moment he could not help but exclaim in his heart, able to give up and abandon his future comforts just like that, what great resolve he has.